All right, here we go with a little inside look into what's going to happen for the next couple of weeks here on 94.5 The Buzz. We play a game every morning. It's called the Fresh Out of Bed Head to Head. And what's about to begin and will be going on until Christmas break is the Fresh Out of Bed Head to Head Tournament of Champions. And we've got the best of the best. They come back every year. And I got to give a shout out to Mattress Mac this year. A $5,000 mattress is going to the winner. It's the biggest prize we've ever offered. Fresh Out of Bed Head to Head. Mac and Gallery Furniture have been sponsoring this thing all year. So, I mean, we talked about it this morning. They don't, the people in the brackets and the people that play this game, there is no prize necessary. It's all about bragging rights. But the fact that we have such a huge prize this year makes it even better. And we're bringing on somebody that most people that are up early in the morning know. It's Tessa's favorite. It's Other John, everybody.
Yes, round of applause, everyone. Stop your applause. We have to talk to him. Moving this so they can see your beautiful face, Ron.
Now, Other John, you've been in the Hall of Fame before, but you're not in the tournament this year. So you're coming at us kind of as like a professional, like when we bring on an athlete that doesn't make the Super Bowl, but we want their commentary.
Right.
You're a guy whose season is over, and we're inviting you into the broadcast booth to kind of give us your expert opinion on what we're about to be hearing.
Yes, I'm just happy to be here. I appreciate it. I mean, always to my grave. I'm 2019 Hall of Famer, and just getting it at one time was an honor, and I still have a losing record overall in all my games fresh out of bed. So I thought I could do some analytics this year and try to figure out a better way to win, but didn't work out too well.
Okay, so couple of questions, couple of things that you sent into the show. And you even said you keep track of this stuff and you don't know what any of it means, but you do keep track. Do you keep track of every single game? Tell me what you write down at the end of, what is a typical Fresh Out of Bed Head to Head? What does your piece of paper look like when that game is over with?
Yeah.
Right. So funny because I take a van pool in the morning now. So I'm like literally on the van listening on my transistor radio and like sending myself an email of, what happened in the game. So, I track who's playing, whether they're fresh fish, they've had former Hall of Fame appearances, what the final score is, how many questions they used up, if they were male or female. I thought importantly, if they got a 1-0 lead, so whether they had to come from behind or they were ahead, and if they were caught speeding or if they did not know an answer, and how many ties there were.
Oh my God, Radio Wizard just blew an oyster in his pants.
Literally.
That's what Radio Wizard does all day, every day with the words that come out of our mouths. Okay, so how fun your life must be to write all this down. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple of things that you sent along to us this morning. Okay.
Okay.
Big D is the only person to win all 5 of his games 2-0. He only used 10 questions. Tessa, that's what your ideal situation is.
And he has the play-in game. I think Big D has the play-in game
He
right
does.
here versus Deputy Thirst Trap, which so that my heart immediately split in two right there. Like, what am I supposed to do?
That's how you reward Big D for using up the least amount of questions.
That's Alex.
You make him play the most games. So he never played any fresh fish, you tell me, John.
Yeah, so everyone he played was a former player. He's the only person who didn't play and beat any fresh fish. The only blemish on his year was he did lose to Colin earlier in the year.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh.
Now, Colin is in the tournament, and he just sent me him in a onesie with his chest hair and everything. That's coming down the line. So just so you know.
Another thing to look forward to.
So Big D is taking on Deputy Chase in the very first play-in game. You said there's a rematch. There's a rematch in the brackets already. People that have played each other this year?
Yeah, there's only one rematch this year, so it'll be interesting because Mark on Friday, Mark and Sean Connery play, and earlier in the year, Mark beat Sean Connery.
Now, Mark won on his day 5, coming from behind. So Mark was the one that had the string of wins. Sean Connery came in on his win 5 and lost on his day 5.
Yeah. An interesting thing about Mark is his opponents were caught speeding 4 times, which is an inordinate amount of time. But the total amount of times that people were caught speeding during the year was only 28 times, and 4 of those came against Mark.
It's a revenge game.
So your questions when Mark's playing, this is fun to look at because moving forward, when Mark's on, do you have speeding? It'll be fun to see if you have speeding type questions. Because, John, would you agree there's a type of question that is a speeding question?
Oh,
Like Tessa will
absolutely.
lead. I should say it's a misleading question, meaning you think she's going one way and then her hatred of that person comes out by the end of that question.
Yeah, like I play with my kids all the time, and if I'm like unhappy with one of my kids, we'll play and I'll purposely do a misleading question. If they jump in, then their question will be wrong no matter what it is.
It's a good way to learn.
Now you told us, and you got to have to tell me why. And even if it's from an analytical point of view, who's the most fortunate person to be?
Yeah, who's lucky?
You put most fortunate. Tessa says, who's lucky to be here?
Yeah.
So Jim Garnett, I mean, very good player. I mean, just to get in the hall, he didn't really have to beat, and he played 5 fresh fish. So everyone he played was a fresh fish. Took him 13 questions, but on his day 5, his opponent had 2 questions that his opponent did not know the answer to.
So he waltzed into the Hall of Fame.
He walked into it.
I mean, obviously, he won 5 games. I mean, I've done it once. I know how hard it is. So everyone deserves to be here. But yes, he was very lucky on his game 5.
He had an easy journey.
He did.
I joke all the time that Tessa hates the listeners of this radio show, specifically those that go out of their way to pick up the phone and call us and play a game. Who does Tessa like the least?
Yeah.
Meaning, I guess just the only qualifier would be who used the most questions.
All the questions.
Yeah,
who used up all the questions?
Same with Dinah with the whole Kenny the Cash Man. He used 17 questions.
So his legacy.
He complains the most and he uses the most questions?
Yeah, and he only won 1 game 2-0, and all of his games were, 4 of his 5 games were 2-1, and he used 17 total questions. But he did beat Art, and he did beat Sammy Baker Davis Jr. So he did have a tough road to get there. So
Sammy played today, so he's not in the Hall of Fame. Are there any clear favorites besides Big D? Like someone on the phone said Big D was the one to beat, that's who they were kind of rooting for. Is there any sort of like hint you can give us to maybe like a ranking, a power 5, power 3?
Yeah, I mean, based purely on this year's results, I would go with Big D and Colin. Unfortunately, both have play-in games, which makes it that much more difficult, because that is a significant amount of more games percentage-wise they have to play. I mean, they both, Colin beat Big D. I think Big D had by far the best year coming in, beating the hardest opponents and, winning every game 2-0 with only 2 questions. But when you have Josh the Goat and Corey the Goat Hunter and, Matt, and all these other greats in there, it's obviously a wide open field. But I think, based on this year's results only, Big D and Colin, I think, were the 2 best players this year.
All right, I want to do speed brackets with you. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, Big D obviously beats Deputy Chase.
Yes.
Why is the carpet wet, Todd, who has won it all before?
That's a hard game, yeah.
But you got Colin.
Yeah, I have Colin going all the way to the finals.
Okay, so then Colin would advance to Hammer and Hank. So you got Colin. You have Colin going down to the finals.
Yep.
Who do you have between Adam the Cop and Jeff?
I have Jeff winning that one.
Okay. Mark and Sean Connery.
I have Sean getting his revenge on Mark, make up for the earlier loss.
Ben and Jimbo.
Yeah, Ben's fresh. I have Ben, old guy Ben. Got to go for the old guys. Coming with that one.
Okay. Matt, and Brian.
Bit of an upset. My kids will not be happy because they love Matt. I have Brian winning that one.
Woo! Corey the Goat Hunter and James.
Never pick against the Goat Hunter, so I'm going with Corey on that one.
Wow, high praise.
Josh the Goat and Lance. Now,
and this is certainly the marquee matchup of the year.
Lance is an all-time great player. Lance is an all-time. He's won the whole thing before as well.
Right, but there is no one who compares with the Goat. So.
Damn.
Wow. And we're going to have to wait till Monday for that game. That's going to be a great way to start the week.
So what we have here is...
What about this one? What about Ben versus Sean Connery when those advance?
Yes, I have Sean advancing to the semis.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. I have Big D taking out the Goat.
Oh, wow.
Okay, bro. Well, listen, this is going to be fun to kind of track this. You're the best at what you do. I want to thank you. And I've always said on the air that John, him and his family, they're such big supporters and always helping with charities and everything. And he's just counting the days down till we do another meat raffle so that he can take home
Clean up.
a year's worth of
I
meat
need
for him and his
11 more
family.
pieces of meat. You need to buy another bar out west. It was so nice when you were in Katy.
All right. Other John, you're playing next year though? Like you're going to
Oh,
make a
of
run
course.
at it?
I will
Okay.
absolutely, I call every single day.
This
Yeah.
is important work, just so
It
you
is.
know.
I know.
I don't care. Like these analytics are top notch. We need them. I need to know who to hate. So
Definitely kidding.
All right, John. John, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.